y'all doing? This is Donndilla the Great, and I'm a hip-hop recording artist and host of a new hip-hop TV show called The Corners. This is part 3 of getting to know the local legends. I brought in Diamond G. I got some old footage from him that I wanted to bring in because it's very informative how he got started in the music business. This is a very good brother. I think he's overlooked here in this area, you know what I'm saying? And I just think people need to get behind him. So if y'all give him a hand, I'm going to introduce Diamond G. Diamond, welcome to the show, brother.
Thank you for coming out. First of all, I want to point out that you have been the hardest working hip-hop artist in this eastern region, brother.
I'm trying.
You touring everywhere.
Yeah.
You know, that's what I'm talking about, putting in work. So tell you what, we're going to jump right in. First of all, I wanted to ask you, how many years you've been involved in the music business?
Since like, the late 90s.
Late 90s?
Late 90s.
Where was you living at then?
I was living at the time, Lansing Correctional Facility.
Okay.
Yeah.
What landed you there, if you don't mind me asking?
Man, I was running with gangs and stuff. You know, I'm a military brat, so I lived everywhere. But I'm originally from Atlanta, but I was running with the wrong people and got caught up in the murder case.
I feel it.
And from that point, I never seen the street again.
Right.
First of all, we're going to start off with Diamond, since Diamond, you've been putting it down here in Lawrence for a couple of months now, and you're starting to make a little noise. What I want my audience to know is, tell us the history of Diamond G. How did you get your name evolving out here in the rap game?
Diamond G came from, like, I just did like over 13 years in prison. You know, I went down when I was young, you know, doing the dumb things in the street. While I was in prison, I had a decision to make. I was fighting my appeal at the same time, but I was also running with the groups, you know what I'm saying, getting in trouble, doing all them things. So I figured after a while, I was like, something got to change. So I started going to college. I started paying for my own college courses in prison. I started going to the music room, started making connections with what people bring in the keyboard and things like that. And I started putting out mixtapes. I started doing music, started doing shows in prison. Everybody from young to old was feeling my music because I was rapping about reality. You know, and I felt like I was a voice for cats in prison. So I named my last CD I put out from prison, Minister for Lost Souls, because it's a lot of lost souls in prison, but it's a lot of good people in prison. So I felt like I was a voice for them. So we was putting out mixtapes with different cats that was locked up, and we was getting it out to the street. People was getting transferred to different prisons, and they was taking the music with them. So we was creating a buzz. And then on my last CD, you know, my fam and all them, they put the CD out for me, got it out in the street, put it in stores in the Midwest and different places, 7 Heaven, Hastings, and Lawrence, different places, had my posters up. And then God blessed me with a appeal bond, and that's how it all started.
Okay.
I got out, and for a minute I had my stumbling blocks, but now I got my mind.
What made you choose Lawrence to come and live at?
Well, actually, it happened this way. Actually, I set up my plan, and I was supposed to parole to Georgia with my auntie, and at the last minute, it was people like calling the house and everything, and then the other side of the family was talking to her, and they thought that I was going to get out and do the same thing, and they was like, he get out doing this and that, your house going to be getting shot up, they're going to take your kids. So at the last minute, she changed her mind and told my parole officer in Georgia that, you know, I got enough problems of my own. So they got with me and they was like, if you don't find somewhere to go and get it to us in a week, you'll be going to a halfway house.
What up?
So what I did, I had a female in Lawrence that was coming to visit me and everything, and I used her address.
If I had one wish, all my gangsters would be free at the BET Awards, posted up in the white tee. And if I had one wish, all my gangsters would be alive, and I still buy liquor. Rest in peace. When I ride through the hood, respect the real G. Diamond T shining in my lack and my white tee. Know I'm grimy, they paying me dues, but in the same breath, call them a PO trying to see me lose. Got the bad question, see if I'm recruiting. They knew I ran a drug team, it was ruthless. Incarcerated scar faces was. I did what I did, cause I do what I do. Mr. Radical, sister thugs, blood, G's and cuz. And I don't ride with security, I don't the fuzz. And if a thing with pussy trying to catch me alone, I jump out busting like footage on the phone, and I'm a soldier till the day I die. He ain't trying to see my guys, automatic use the eye right before the eyes. And that'll get your car rid up like Bonnie and for my nigga, you die. Cause I ain't playing with you. Gangsta. If I had one wish, all my gangsters would be free at the BET Awards, posted up in the white tee. Yeah. And if I had one wish, all my gangsters would be alive, and I still buy liquor and die. That's all I want. That's all I need. Rest in peace, Orlando. Hey, I walk around with a heavy load on my back, incarcerated bed, and I ain't even learned the internet yet. And ain't too many took the time to show me. I went in the barn, shot the gun, screaming, please load me. Screaming, hold me. Money screaming, fold me. I like it at the bottom, cause at the top it's so lonely. They don't remember the face, but I guarantee you they remember the name when I bust the place. And I ain't walking out without squeezing. So you give me a reason, and I'ma show you about that murder season. I serve my time revolutionary soul killers and drug dealers. Never plan on growing old. We die young without facing the new. Tuning from gun salute, I live. We in prison blues, they building them new. They lock us up young. Heavenly Father, look at what I become, a gangster. If I had one wish, all my gangsters would be free at the BET Awards, posted up in the white tee. Hey. And if I had one wish, all my gangsters would be alive, and I still buy liquor for them to die. That's all I want. Listen, this clock I have your spirit flowing like an astronaut. 3 to the head, 3 to the chest, make it so it dead. And I might even just check your pulse, cause I ain't leaving witnessing for reports. Now I'm back in the courts, smoking new parts, just trying to keep my mind right. I got a gangster, just getting money, plus the tight. And all I got is a Cadillac and a dream. 1 bedroom apartment, and I was ballin' when I left the scene. I'm having dreams of reuniting with my triple beam, bulletproof vest and every beam. Still on some fresh and so clean. Niggas since the golden keys and G's, smoking and weed till over my eyes bleed. I'm listening to siren, choppers and high speed, and they're in the street bleeding envy and greed. I walk the yard with blood cousin G's. Vice Lord, we all thugs. He sharper than Freddy Krueger's glove, and I ain't the club. I got an anger problem, and my problem solver is a slug. And getting money, they say I'm living way too similar to barbells. And anything I do, I organize it like the cartel. If I had one wish, all my gangsters would be free at the BET Awards, posted up in the white tee. That's all I want. And if I had one wish, all my gangsters would be alive, and I still buy liquor for the. That's all I want. That's all I need. Save me a place. Hey.
Diamond City Records started in prison. 2003, I started Diamond City Productions because I was making music and I was trying to sell music to rappers that were free. So I connected with Smooth Underground, and they let me put some ads in the magazine, didn't charge me anything. I was sending flyers to everybody I know, everybody in my phone book, I was sending flyers to. I was writing. My homeboys, they got me a MySpace started. I didn't know nothing about the internet. Still getting used to it. And that's how it started. It started out as Diamond City Productions. It turned into Diamond City Records in 2004 because I was like, why are we in prison trying to get a record deal, trying to be heard when don't nobody respect it? So I said, man, if I'm going to be pushing these underground cats from the joint, from prison, we might as well do our own thing. So I started the label up, got the business license on the street. The girl that was in Lawrence actually got me the business license, and it's been going on. I had my homeboys, they stayed loyal, everybody was helping me, and that's how we did it. That's how I started.
When I hear to Lawrence, you met a few of the rappers here.
Yeah, I met a lot of the rappers.
A lot of the rappers here. What do you think, as an outsider coming in, what do you really think that the guys here in town is lacking to make it, really?
I think a lot of them, you got some of them trying to put it down, but a lot of them is lacking the hard work that comes with this game. You got to treat this like your baby, you know what I'm saying? A lot of them, they tell people I'm a rapper, I'm an entertainer, I'm a singer, but they don't put in the work behind it. You know what I'm saying? I see a lot of them, they're still on that balance. They doing bad over here, and then on this side is their music. Instead of putting their money into their music, they rather kick it. It's a party life. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
When you got to put it into the music, you can't. I mean, you got to lose yourself into this music, man. And if you got $500 in your pocket and your rent paid, or you living with your mom and you ain't got to pay no rent, put it into the music.
Right.
Why go rent a hotel room and get bottles of champagne and kick it when you could just put it into your music? All that come later.
Exactly. Now, another thing with the rappers here that you've met, which ones do you think, I mean, do you think there's a good camaraderie of the rappers here? Do they try to give a helping hand to assist you at things, or, you know, what do you think of the Lawrence rappers in a nutshell?
You mean as far as togetherness?
Yeah.
I don't really see togetherness. I don't see that. I know in different places, I mean, for example, in Atlanta, you got unity amongst the rappers. You got people trying to help each other, and I don't even far as Kansas City, I don't see no togetherness. I mean, I don't know what it is, but
right.
I think, you know, more heads is better than one. If everybody could just come together in Lawrence and get the egos out the way, get the problems out the way, because right now ain't nobody making no money off of this. So I mean, I'm in it because I love to do it. I'm putting my own money into this. I'm putting my own money into it. I ain't been making no profit. I mean, I love to do it.
Right.
And one of the persons that I connected with was Tony Gaines, one of the super producers, and of course you. And I think that's where it's to start at. I mean, I know whenever I called you or Tony Gaines, y'all been there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And whenever y'all call me, I'll be there.
Right.
Y'all want me to come do a show? I'm not saying how much money is it. I'm not spitting because you're not paying me, and I'm coming.
Right.
Because I love to do this and I want to give the people what they want to hear. You have to make a choice, man. I had a choice, like he said. My cousin Phil Canty, he's a producer, super producer. He's on the biggest radio station in D.C. You have to choose. I didn't choose. I had a chance to be with Pimp C and them in Texas, Ghetto Boys, 007. I stayed in the game. You got to choose the game or the rap game. It's not going to work both ways, and you're going to be in prison like, damn, I got 25 years, but I'm talented. Now, don't go out like that. I got lucky. So you got to make a choice, man. Get a job.
Thank you. Now.
This is Diamond G, and you tuning in to What's Poppin' with DONNDILLA.
Go.
This is Sko from Sko from Us Entertainment, and you tuning in to What's Poppin' with DONNDILLA.
We're going to tell you about the things, like some of the things we're going to cover now, how the prison industry makes money off of us. You know, and this was one of the things that I noticed when I went to the penitentiary was, I seen, okay, I was locked up in, let's say, Moberly, Missouri. They had 2,000 inmates, I believe. Now that's 2,000 people coming into your jail and you telling them, you got to go work for me. Usually the prison systems have classes set up for people to take. Now I know specifically we had a welding class, they had electrical class over when I was locked up in Hutch, and yeah, I toured the penitentiaries. When I was locked up in Hutch, they had electrical and building homes. And what they would do was, they would come and get the inmates, and the inmates would go out to the town, and they would build the homes, fix the railroads, and all of these things. When the inmates would get paid $3 a day.
That's true.
$3 a day. Now, they doing that for that $3 a day for 8 hours. And they come and make that $3. And believe me, when they in prison, they happy to have that $3 a day. But when they get out of jail and you ask them to get a job at McDonald's, they'll tell you, man, I don't want no job at no McDonald's, man. Now you done work for somebody else for $3 a day and you can't build yourself up for minimum wage? Come on, it's no different. You know, but I took it there, but that's one of the things I wanted to point out, that these prison systems be going out and they would bid on the jobs in local towns. These are usually small towns where penitentiaries is. So when they bid, they outbid the local contractor that's there. The local contractor get upset with the inmates and start getting mad at the inmates because we're coming at a cheaper price. Believe me, we do not want to do this work. They make us do this work. You know, when you was locked up, what job did you have?
I worked in the kitchen. I got like 29. I got a raise. I went up to $29 a month.
$29 a month. You made that $29 stretch, did you?
I made it stretch, but I hustled on them too. As soon as they took cigarettes, I was hustling.
As soon as they took them cigarettes out of prison.
7 pouches for $75, $80. Yeah, I was living large.
Just trying to make a way.
Yeah.
Just trying to make a way. So tell me, when you first got there, did you want to do the work they told you to do?
No, I didn't want to, but they make you. Or
Exactly.
you're going to be sitting in segregation.
Exactly. You're going to be sitting in segregation. And being in segregation in penitentiary is like being in a county jail. Believe me, it's horrible. You know, and another thing I noticed, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying that the prison system it needs to be fixed. That's what it is. The prison system needs to be fixed. And these dreams that you guys are being sold, now if you go out there and you're going to sell drugs and you're going to break the law, my only thing is, if you're going to do that, stand on it and be a man. Take your time. Do your time. Don't blame nobody else for the things and the choices that you made. When I went and did my time, I did my time. Now, of course, I fought the system, not the government. I fought the system because the government was the ones who helped me to get out of the penitentiary because I filed an appeal. So if it wasn't for the appeals courts, the judicial system, I wouldn't have been able to get out of jail. So I'm not saying that the prison system shouldn't be there, but they took schools out.
Yeah, you got to pay your own way now.
Now you got to pay your own way. You in jail. And then when you work for them, when you got people sending money in, they want to take money from you and charge you rent.
So they don't care about rehabilitation. So if you get out and start breaking in houses, and, killing people, whatever it is, there's no rehabilitation.
Yeah, there's no rehabilitation.
It's all about money now. So
it's about to be worse soon as they start letting more of the homies out.
Exactly. Because they're coming out to a whole new world. And then, you know, you got things changing. But we're gonna close on this, and me and Diamond, we're gonna get on other stuff more. Y'all be able to catch us out doing seminars and stuff about the penitentiary. But there's a couple of things I want to point out about the penitentiary real quick that was kind of different for me. Now, it probably was different for you, you know, but I'm going to tell the different things that was different in the penitentiary for me. You know that little saying when they tell you to go into the penitentiary and the first big dude you see, you go and sock him? Don't do that. Don't sock the first big dude you see, because he might beat you up, and then you're not going to look good because you going to get beat up some more by the other people. Now, what did you do when you went in there?
I did what you just said.
Did it work for you?
It worked.
It worked for Diamond. It didn't work for me. It did not work for me. I tried to play crazy. I even tried to be friends with people. But I didn't want to be too friendly with people, because if you're too friendly with people, you might have your bedmate. I didn't want no bedmate. So what you do? You just went on there and you socked the first big dude?
No, I went and sat down at the table to eat, and the big dude tried to tell me to get up.
What'd you do to him?
Sock.
What happened after you socked him?
We went to the hole.
Did you get a name after that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Did he want to beat you up afterwards?
Nah.
Oh, he wanted to leave it alone? Okay, well, my story was kind of different. Okay, with me, I'm going to just call out a specific time. When I was in the county jail, I was here in Lawrence, and at this time I was studying Islam, so I didn't want people to call me a N-word, you know, an N-word, a ninja, you know, thing. So people would call me the N-word, and I would fight them. I'd tell them, come on, let's go to the closet right now. And we're going in. So I started getting hyped up, because I was winning a lot. So I wanted like 10 or 11. So I went to prison over in Missouri, and it was different over there. When I went to prison in Missouri, I was the head custodian. And I was talking to one of the dudes, like we was outside on the street. I was like, hey man, you better go on and clean this stuff up. And he's like, who you talking to? Now, I done let one of the guards hype me up. He's like, you the supervisor. You go tell them to clean all of it up. So I told him, hey, you clean all of this stuff up right now. What? You clean this stuff up right now. And he's like, hey, man, who you talking to, man? I said, man, I'm talking to you, man. I'm telling you to clean this stuff up. You embarrassing me. He said, I'm embarrassing you. I said, yeah, you embarrassing me. So I thought I seen the guard up on the second tier watching, but it wasn't a guard. It was just somebody had walked by in the corner of my eye, and I had looked over there, and he socked me from this side. And when he hit me so hard, I fell down a flight of stairs, and there was about 5 of them. And I hit every step going down, and there was a steel beam in the middle of the step. So I hit that too. It was real comical. So what I did was, I was like, I'm tough. So I jumped right up immediately to go attack him. And he was waiting on me again. But I seen his fist, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to let him hit me. I won't trick him, and I won't duck to the right. Well, when I ducked to the right, he had another hand. And he hit me again. And then he took me, because I realized I was losing the fight. So I grabbed him, and I was bumping up against the door to try to let the guards know, like, now, the guards on the outside, they looking at me in the inside. I got him up to go, bumping up against the door, but he not seeing me. I'm doing this to the guard. And I'm bumping him up against the door. And the guards on the outside looking at me saying, that Flowers is funny. And I'm like, no, help me. Help me. You know, so by the time the guards came in, he had already started phase 2 of his butt whooping on me. And what he did was, he pulled my shirt over my head. I didn't know about that trick. He pulled my shirt over my head and he started socking me, and I didn't know where they was coming from. And then he told everybody, watch this. And I was so dumb, I leaned out the shirt and did like this. And he socked me again. So that was my experience in jail. Don't try that if you ain't big like that. Okay? So that was my conclusion on that one. I want y'all to give Diamond G a round of applause and thank you for coming out. Thanks, Diamond. All right, bro. We got Tony.